Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. Cases, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hello, Welcome on in to a Friday edition of The Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network here on YouTube. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. That's why it's called The Cam Show. We're live on YouTube as we are every weekday, high noon Eastern time, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Zach Burke behind the glass, keeping us on the air as he does all 5 days of the week, giving you the alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. We don't want you having to listen to that, okay? So today, we will go over why the Bruins prospect pool has suddenly skyrocketed. What are the hockey analysts loving about this team's development that has them with a major improvement in terms of the kids that they're about to bring into the fold? Plus, this Red Sox-Yankees series is the biggest series of baseball in this town in a long time. This is a preview of the playoffs right here. This could be the rebirth of that real rivalry. Plus, we will go over some of the worst sports movies ever made. And they will not include the Red Sox, the Yankees, because they will be basketball movies. What do you think is the very worst? Let me know in the comments section below. But we start where we start, and that is with the Bruins, as it is on most days on the Cam Show. And I've been talking prospects all summer long. Like, seriously, I'm kind of shoving it down your throat, all these Bruins prospects, to the point where some of you are probably thinking, man, this guy is way overhyping their prospects. Like, Don Sluchmelis is not Connor McDavid, right? But the thing that has just taken me by surprise really since March is how much better this prospect pool has gotten. That is real, like, finally, because it's been a long time. We didn't need to worry about it for a while with the Bruins because their team was so good. We didn't need to worry about the prospects. You know, they had a good core that was under contract. Now that's not the case. Now you need to worry about prospects. And for the first time in a while, it actually looks pretty good. Seriously. Like, the last few years, the Bruins prospect pool has been more punchline than pipeline. Like, we've heard the greatest hits. They can't develop. They can't draft. They don't have an eye for talent. They give up all their first-round picks. And it's true, but I won't bore you with it. I've talked about that plenty this summer. But now things are genuinely different, like very different, with the outlook and the future of this hockey team based on their prospect pool. Now, the present doesn't look very good, but there will be a lot of ice time to go around for these young kids. And suddenly they have good young kids. The hockey writers, which I follow along with these prospect pools, the hockey writers have the Bruins as a top 20 prospect pool in the NHL this year. Some other outlets have them actually like knocking on the door of the top 10. That's a big jump. And look, when I say top 20, I'm sure there are some people who are like, oh, seriously? That's what we're pounding our chest over? A top 20 prospect pool in the NHL? Like, there's 32 teams. Yeah, but out of the last few years, when we were talking about our teams being in the 30s for the prospect pool, to be top 20 is a big deal. It's not the 30s, man. There's a big difference between the teams in the 30s. They're pretty good. It's Tampa and Florida this year. And the teams that are in the top 20. And the Bruins, the last 2 seasons really, had prospect pools in the 30s and did not have a Stanley Cup contending team. And, in 23 they did, but I don't think anyone really thought in 22 they had a Stanley Cup contending team. They had a good team good enough to make the playoffs, but not a Stanley Cup contending team. And so when you're in that, and you have the worst prospect pool in hockey, it's not a great outlook on your future. It really isn't. And there's finally something to look forward to. And the reason why the hockey writers and everybody else covering the sport are starting to buy into the Bruins prospect pool, the reason why is James Hagens. James Hagens, Will Zellers, Fraser Minten. Those 3 guys have changed everything. These were all guys that were not part of the picture last year and have now significantly elevated their future prospects. No pun intended. They are prospects who improve your future prospects. You get Zellers and Minten at the deadline, a couple of 2 trade deadline deals that I think Don Sweeney won. I think he nailed both those trades. Charlie Coyle, who's now on a different team than Colorado. You get Will Zellers in return, and you kind of have to eat the Casey Middlestat money. That's too bad. And Brandon Carlo, who wasn't doing much for this team, getting sent to Toronto, didn't do much for them, and you get one of Toronto's 2 actual prospects in return in Fraser Minten, a 20-year-old center who's got all kinds of upside. Like that was a big deal for Don Sweeney, man. And the other, I got to give some more credit to Don Sweeney. I know most people aren't, because they're saying, oh, well, James Higgins, he fell into your lap. What are you going to do? But based on what we saw, the rumors that we heard, and specifically what we saw out of Long Island this week, I think we got to give Don Sweeney some credit there. He stuck to his guns. Like we knew the Islanders were making a real push to get James Higgins. That was the big rumor before the draft. They had the first overall pick, but they were trying to get into 7. It was kind of I think a lot of Islanders fans wouldn't have minded if they had like the 5th pick and could have taken Higgins, but instead they got the first pick. They had to take Matthew Schaefer. But he's the hometown kid, Long Island, once thought of as the top prospect in the draft. So, if they had the number 1 pick in December, it probably would have been James Higgins. And they were really they're pushing really hard. And now we know how hard they were pushing really up until the last second. This is a clip from a show called On the Island that the Islanders produced. And Matthew Darsh, New York's GM, was trying till the very last second to fleece the Bruins here.
For me now, I got 2 other first-round picks. You want to package something and get something else with those picks. Obviously my job is always to do my due diligence and talk to teams, talk to other GMs. Swing the way.
He knows who you want to take, obviously. So. There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye. They're taking the pick.
The Boston Bruins select from Boston College.
Well, we'll pick in at 6.
That is great dramatic hockey content right there, huh? How about like the 20 seconds he's on the phone just from to say, Sweens, how are you? that is classic hockey entertainment, man. Not much charisma going on in that room. But you could see, like right up till the end, they were putting together a deal. And we don't know exactly what the details are for what Matthew Darsh was going to trade, but all that we heard leading up to the draft was the 2 picks that they had in the middle coming off the Noah Dobson trade, which was 16 and 17 in the first round, and J.G. Pageau, a soon-to-be 33-year-old J.G. Pageau. And you get picks 16 and 17 in a weak draft. And you might have had some future picks thrown in there, maybe. But as I've said, and as all these NHL people have said about the 26th draft, like all these teams are really wary of trading their first-round pick because you don't know how bad you're going to have to be. You might not have to be Chicago or San Jose bad. The Islanders weren't. They were pushing in the playoffs in April, and they got the number 1 pick in the draft. So the team that has literally made the example out of this, I don't think is trading their first-round pick next year. So if it's 16 and 17 and someone like J.G. Pageau, that was 1,000% the right move from Don Sweeney. And it shows, if nothing else, a little bit of commitment there. They have been so scared to commit to a player or a coach or a GM as an entire franchise. And commit before he does anything, I should say. And here they've committed to someone before he's done something for them and said, you know what? No, we got lucky to have James Higgins at number 7. We are going to stick to our guns for that. And that has significantly improved their prospect pool and their future outlook way more than 16 and 17 and J.G. Pageau would have. Okay. You've got young center depth now. Not only do you have Higgins playing at BC right now, but you've got Matthew Poitras and Fraser Minten ready to go. These guys played in the NHL last year. They looked somewhat impressive. And Matthew Poitras, a lot of people are saying he's done, but he's 21, man. And not that long ago, 2 seasons ago, he was the future. He was the Bergeron replacement, so to speak. He has a lot of upside, and he's young and he's small. He's got to add some weight, and he's got to take on a full NHL season. But lest we forget why we were high on this kid 2 years ago. And the same goes for this other guy the hockey writers absolutely love. Everybody, when they're doing their write-up on this team for their prospect pool, is talking about Mason Lohrei. A guy a lot of Bruins fans are not wild about because we're seeing him develop in real time. Like, we're seeing the development and all the ups and downs that come with that right in front of our face, man. Right in front of us. And it hasn't always been smooth. Of course it's not. Of course it's not always been smooth. But I love Mason Lohrei, man. And his upside for this team is tremendous. Like, I think that's a guy who probably should be... He's a top 10 young defenseman in hockey. Like, a defenseman under 23. I think he's turning 23 this year. And I think he could be quarterbacking your power play this year. I really do. I think you're getting a second shot at Dougie Hamilton, who didn't turn out to be this great NHL player, but he's a pretty solid two-way offensive upside defenseman for a long time in this league, and you gave up on him when he was an RFA. Don't do that with Mason Lohrei. With the way your team is right now, I think it's definitely worth a shot to see if he can quarterback a power play and what kind of offense he can bring you this year. And these are just the guys who are ready for the league right now. Poitras, Minten, Lohrei obviously played a lot. But don't be surprised if we see a guy like Don Zlochmelis, man. Another one, signed as ELC last year, comes in Providence, 12 points in 6 AHL games, playing alongside Matthew Poitras. A little bit bigger than Poitras, so he can play on the wing. He's a center by trade. Don't be surprised if you see him at some point this season. And that's a kid who found his scoring touch at UMass last year, 33 points in 40 games, and then the 12 and 6 in the AHL. But he's known as like a good shutdown center, defensive center. Sidney Crosby really liked his shutdown center game at the World Juniors. And so those are the guys that you're talking about in the league right now. Like, you don't have a generational kind of talent yet, obviously. Nothing close to it. Don Zlochmelis isn't Connor McDavid. But for the first time in a while, you have 4 or 5 kids ready to slot in and play real minutes in the NHL. That's not something the Bruins have had in 20 years. And then you have some real hope for stars for the next guys. Higgins and Will Zellers leading the ECHL in goals and now playing in North Dakota. And whomever is taken with your first-round pick this year. Guys who are a few years away from being a few years away could be real stars here. And here's what the hockey writers had to say. This is where it's key. After making 31 selections in the previous 6 NHL drafts, that's 5 a year, and none of them being near the top, only 5 of those being in the first 2 rounds, 3 firsts and 2 seconds. And that's where you get Johnny Beecher. The Boston Bruins made 7 full picks in the 2025 draft for just the second time since 2015. The lack of draft capital is bound to leave you near the bottom of a list like this, but their injury issues and a few savvy trade deadline moves have given them a good bit more talent with their first true top-end prospect in a decade with James Higgins. The first one since Pasternak, who more or less slotted in right away. Before that, you had Hamilton, you had Sagan out of the Toronto deals, and Phil Kessel before that, who gave you the other 2 draft picks, ironically enough. So you've still got your best prospect that you've had in a decade in James Higgins. And that changes the entire game for this. And where it all kind of comes together is your head coach. Again, I've been critical of the hire, but I did this in depth yesterday. You've got a coach who can develop young talent in Marco Sturm. He did it with LA. Quentin Byfield, Brant Clark, Adrian Kempe all had a ton of Marco Sturm in them. That doesn't sound good. He had his hands all over those guys' development. And that's a good team, a very good team in the Western Conference right now because of those three guys mainly. You know, they've built it with a core group of kids. And Marco Sturm was all over that. He had his fingerprints all over the development of those guys. And so you bring in some guys who are ready to play in the NHL. You got some good long-term prospects. And you got a coach like Marco Sturm. And bam, you're all of a sudden starting to feel really, really good about your prospects. As good as you felt since watching Dougie Hamilton and Tyler Seguin come through the ranks. And I use that pretty liberally because Tyler Seguin was pretty much on the team the whole time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. How excited are you about this Bruins prospect group? Do you really believe they're a top 20 prospect group in the league? And how does that make you feel differently about the team this year? Let me know in the comments section below. Then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers, and we need your help in getting there. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. That's why it's called The Cam Show. Zach Burke keeps us on the air 5 days a week. Check out the other videos on the channel, talking Bruins every day. Bruins, Red Sox, Patriots, everything else going on in the world of Boston sports so that you don't have to listen to sports talk radio. Coming up next, I want you guys to finish this sentence for me. This Red Sox series this weekend is the most important series of baseball they have played since. The answer's coming up next on The Cam Show.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Our research-backed bioavailable formulas are crafted with your health in mind, ensuring the highest quality and safety. From preconception to pregnancy and beyond, we exceed industry standards with independent testing for harmful contaminants. With our comprehensive practitioner directory, personalized care is always within reach. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at fullwellfertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. We use the finest materials like Italian top-grain leather, known for its durability and luxurious feel, and apply meticulous attention to detail in every piece we create. Our replicas are crafted with the same care and precision as the originals, but a price that makes them accessible. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion-resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
And now, back to our show.
Back to it. The Cam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. It's called that because my name is Cam. Cam Stewart here, Zach Burke there, keeping you on the air 5 days a week, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts as well. Your alternative, the official, I'll call it the official online radio show of people who don't want to listen to Boston Sports Talk Radio. How about that? How about that? And we've talked the Bruins. We've talked about why their prospect pool has suddenly skyrocketed. And now it's time to talk about the team of the year in this city. And that is the Boston Red Sox, man. This city is back in. Like, it is in to this team and really to this weekend. This is the one that we have had circled for weeks now on the off chance that we've looked ahead for this Red Sox schedule, this Red Sox playoff push. This is it this weekend, man. This is the biggest series of baseball the Red Sox have played since the 2021 ALCS. I can't think of one bigger. What's happening this weekend, this is all we were really asking for. mid-September, Fenway Park, meaningful baseball games. This is it right here. And the series being against the Yankees rather than some other AL contender or Toronto makes it even better. Like that's gravy. It's not just because it's Red Sox Yankees, but because of all that's at stake here. Yankees now a half game up on the first wild card, but 2-8 against the Red Sox this year. And the more I look at these two teams, the more I see they're so similar. When they're playing, they don't look too similar. But when you look when they're not playing, definitely. 81 wins for both of them. Both have 44 at home and 37 on the road. And both are exactly 500 against teams above 500. All of those things are going to change this weekend. All of them. Hopefully. For one team anyway. For one team. And how about, like, this couldn't have lined up any better. Again, mid-September, wild card race, smack in the middle of a football weekend. And how about these pitching matchups? Like, this was sent down from the baseball gods, man. Luis Gil versus Lucas Giolito tonight. Max Fried versus Brian Bayo Saturday afternoon. And then Will Warren versus Garrett Crochet Sunday night, prime time. That's awesome. Like, can we take a minute to appreciate that? That is can't miss baseball. Smack in the middle of a football weekend. We haven't had that around here in a long time. Like, a long time, man. I just, like, when we looked at this season, and we looked at, getting Garrett Crochet and getting Alex Bregman at the end there, hoping for a healthy Trevor Story season, hoping to see some of the kids at some point. Like, when we saw this team was going to be different and hopefully better, right? All you could really ask for, more so than winning the division or even being in the playoffs, was like, hey, let's be in the hunt here. When push is coming to shove in September, let's be in the hunt. Let's be playing meaningful games. Let's not have to tune in to every single piece of Patriots coverage when they're going to win 4 games because you're just sick of talking about the Red Sox at this point because they've disappointed you again. Here it is. Like, that's it, man. You're getting it right now. And to be at Fenway is super important for this team. Like, because the other thing we were talking about going into this year and talking about the last few years is, can this team win at home? Like, we're sick of seeing this Red Sox team be below 500 at home. And they've been pretty good at home. And again, they're 15 games over 500 at home this year. And Fenway's into it, man. Like, this is legit. Their right-handed hitters are hitting better at Fenway than they do on the road. The Yankees aren't very good on the road. They're just as bad as the Red Sox are, which means they're okay. But, like, this is it, man. Don't take this for granted. We did for a long time because we had meaningful Red Sox baseball for the better part of 15 years. And then it was gone, poof, overnight. And we've been in the wilderness here. And, like, I'm not saying that this is going to be Red Sox Yankees of 20 years ago. Okay, probably won't ever be like what it was 20 years ago. But doesn't this feel like the old days? Not just the meaningful games late in the season, but Yankees at Fenway, weekend series, 7 o'clock NESN on Friday, 4:10 Fox Saturday, and Sunday night ESPN broadcast to end it. Like, that's what we're used to with this. That's what this rivalry should demand in September. In the middle of a college football, pro football weekend. That's what this series should demand. And this is crucial. The team that gets the first wild card, like, that's where you got to be. You got to be in the first wild card, man. And have a Yankee series to match up the best of 3 at Fenway, and then facing Houston rather than Detroit. Like, that's humongous. Hopefully. That would be the way to where you could see Roman Anthony playing again this season for the Red Sox. And I would love Red Sox Yankees in the wild card series. Again, 8-2 against them this year. Beaten them the last 3 times they've matched up in the postseason, including a 1-game playoff, a best of 5, and a best of 7. I know those were different teams, but if we're going to give that mystique to the Yankees for all those decades, maybe it's time to start giving it to the Red Sox. But really, I'm not going to say don't throw out what's going to happen this weekend. The Red Sox need to sweep to feel good. They'd be a game and a half up on the first wild card after this weekend if they sweep them, which they've done at Fenway this year before. And their only matchup at Fenway, if I'm not mistaken. But embrace this. Really don't take this for granted. The Red Sox have been playing completely meaningless baseball for 4 years now. By the time mid-August came around, they were worse than mid. They were done. And we had to see the Yankees playing in the World Series last year. And thinking, man, that team is so fundamentally inept, but they're there in the World Series. Why can't we do that? Time is now. And this might be the most even they are for a while. Okay? Because the Red Sox, if they continue developing this prospect pool, both pitching and hitting, and go out and get the big free agents they're supposed to this winter, they could skyrocket past the Yankees next year. They could be a comfortably better team than the Yankees next year. So live in this weekend. Biggest series of baseball we've seen in this town in 4 years. Let's do it, man. I'm in. How excited are you about this Red Sox-Yankees series this weekend? Let me know in the comments section below. Do they need to have the first wild card? Or will you still believe in this team if they're the second or third? Let me know in the comments section below. Then be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're one of the 29 fan bases that hates the New York Yankees, let me know. And then like and subscribe to show me that you hate them. And look around the channel. See what else we got going on. Everything else going on in the world of Boston sports. Red Sox, Bruins, everything else going on in this great city so that you don't have to listen to Boston Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeps us on the air 5 days a week. We're going to bring Zach into the fold on the next segment because we're going to talk about the worst sports movies ever made. And by sports, I mean basketball. And again, as I warn you every week, some of the ones on here being the worst movies ever might piss you off. But you're going to have to check in next on The Cam Show.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
In Motion is more than just a name. It's a legacy of innovation. From supplying electric vehicle parts like motors and inverters since the 1960s to creating cutting-edge electric scooters, hoverboards, and unicycles. In Motion is shaping the future of mobility. Whether you're looking for industrial power solutions or accessible personal transport, In Motion has you covered. Explore our products and experience the future of movement. Visit store.inmotionworld.com today.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files, remove malware and viruses, and protect your device. It also optimizes your Mac's hard disk, fixes disk permission issues, and cleans memory, all to boost your Mac's performance to the max. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It's all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic, which is really great for your baby's sensitive skin.
And it's Smoothie Climatech, which regulates your baby's temperature.
You can also get Joy's crib sheets, which are made of the same super soft material.
Joy gave my baby comfort
and gave me peace of mind.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey, past, present, and future. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence, elevate creativity, and honor what matters most. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
And now, back to our show.
Back to our show, The Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. Bringing in Zach Burke here. Zach, this might be a bit of an omen here, is during this commercial break. I do have these like...
That I lost video? Because is it just a giant
It's a bad
black screen for me? All right, go ahead.
It is. I can see you in the preview, but not on there. You know those like newspaper negatives, like the thing they printed off of, like the little tin almost... It's the front page of the newspaper, but I have those for the Red Sox 2004 World Series win. And one of them just magically fell off the wall during that commercial break after I talked about how this is the biggest Red Sox series in 4 years and how they could, if they make the right moves in this offseason, be significantly better than the Yankees next year. So that's not a great omen, I don't think.
Well,
I think that might be trying to tell me something, or maybe it's just saying, yeah, you're right. And this 04 was just the beginning of the Red Sox.
True. Or maybe you're reading too much into something.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why it fell. This house this house might be haunted, by the way. Okay, so I found this out yesterday. This is interesting, Zach. This is totally off topic. But yesterday, my fiance...
I'm frozen again, I think.
And yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going to just old school camera it. Here, you talk. I'll figure this out.
And the dog are out in the back, and I'm sitting in kind of the front room where we have windows looking out. And this guy, we're near the top of the street. So this old guy, starts walking in front of our house, and he's kind of looking around. And I'm like, this is weird. And then I start seeing him go towards the little alleyway that leads to our backyard. And I know that Grace leaves the door open so that the dog can get in and out, but I don't want her running out like biting this guy. Yeah. And so I'm going out there. I'm like, there's a guy might be coming down here. I don't know. And he used to live here. And he was saying that nobody had lived here for like a year. So he was just like, he lives a few blocks down and just wanted to see that someone was living here now because he used to live here, and asked us if we knew about the guy who lived before. The guy who lived here before.
That's never a good sign.
We knew he had died. Okay. We knew that's why he moved out, because he died.
Yeah.
And this guy was saying that the guy who lived here before lived here his entire life, and that his parents lived here as well. And I was like, okay, so this house is old as shit. This house is old. It's over 100 years old, probably, or right around that. And so everything's creaky. Everything is. And I'm like, bro, there's just no way this place isn't haunted. Like, at least 3 people spent decades living here.
You think it's those
probably
people,
died here? Like, I mean, yeah. And I'm not going to make any... I'm going to kind of make an assumption, because Somerville was always really mobbed up, the place that I live. And these were some Italian folks. So they could have been connected. This could have been a meeting space. This could have been a safe house.
So you're thinking,
who knows what happened here, man? We're a stone's throw from where the Winter Hill gang started. So I don't know, man, but I didn't like that. Like, I kind of get it. This guy's in like his 70s, man. Like, he's just coming by to see, someone told him, like, oh, someone's actually probably living in there now. Like, someone moved in.
Yeah, so he just came to check it out,
but he was like about to walk into the backyard. It was weird.
Do you enjoy living in the area you do, Cam?
I do, actually. That's the other problem, Zach. We really like it here. We really like it. We like this house. We like this neighborhood. We like this town. So something's bound to go wrong.
Yeah, usually. Well, it's just funny. I keep meaning to ask you about that. The Massachusetts area in general keeps coming up when we look at places that we might be moving to here soon. It's coastwise. Right? It's coastwise. It's either East Coast or West Coast, but yeah, it's coastwise.
It's the most expensive experience you will ever indulge. I'll say that.
I don't know about that. I had a kid recently, so we'll see.
Yeah,
but
a kid and a wedding and a honeymoon, like, all rolled into one, and that's just trying to find a place. Yeah, we had to put down. I won't tell you what my rent is, but
I'm not asking.
It's not that crazy to figure it out. But we had to put down for like a deposit with first and last and realtor fees and all this shit. We had to put down $10,000 before we even walked in the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's renting. You know what I mean? So it's great. And the weather here right now is fucking awesome. It's so close to Boston. Like from where we are, we can get into downtown Boston in 20 minutes and it's still super quiet and safe. It's right next to Cambridge, which is very, very safe. So I would love to talk about this at some point. If
for sure
you're seriously considering, I'd love to help out.
At some point in time, I keep meaning to just pick your brain and just get an overall view at some point, but that's something we can do off air. What we have that I am bringing to the table today. Yeah. I just want to make sure that, you're having to sign off at 1:20 for you. So I've compiled, again, as you said before throwing to the break, a list of, as we try to determine what we consider some of the worst sports movies. We've been doing this the past couple of weeks. We started with football. We did baseball last week.
Yep.
So it just naturally makes sense for us to progress to basketball. And a lot of this is, Cam, you're a very busy guy, and we like to make sure that it's movies we've both seen so we can discuss it. So some movies, I will always give this caveat, some movies could very well be worse and just both of us haven't seen them. Like, I asked you about The Sixth Man, and you told me you have never seen The Sixth Man. The Sixth Man, if you have some time where you're completely bored today, you should do yourself a favor and just go watch the trailer for it. It's a movie from 1997. And it stars Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison, and they play for the University of Washington. It's a college basketball movie
for a school that's not known for its college basketball.
And one of the players dies during the season and comes back and helps the team as a ghost.
True story, Mikey?
Based on. I don't think the ghost stuff is real, but the University of Washington does have a basketball team. So
yes, that's true. Yeah, Detlef Schrempf and Isaiah Thomas and Markel Fultz. Those are your Washington Huskies.
So there are movies like that didn't make the cut. Another one, and I'm going to bring this up and present it in cinema mode before I actually get to our countdown, is a movie that I only know of in the first place just because of how bad the basketball in the movie is. The actual basketball. It's a Disney Channel movie. So you can expect it not to be that great, but just to kind of at least show you, this is the final play from it's a whole big thing. And I have it here with no music. So I could present it. We could talk over it. You don't really need to know the background of it. You just really need to focus on the play here at hand. And it's an inbound play. Why is it playing? Oh, hold on. Let me try this again. Here we go. So it's an inbound play, right?
All right.
High school team.
Well, women playing sports. It's the first one, really. Yeah.
So here's my favorite part of this whole thing. This game is on the line. She checks the clock. Look how fast that is counting down. Now watch the events unfold for the next 45 seconds.
Why is nobody covering her? Why is nobody covering her?
Oh, they will here. Well, she's got to sit here. I thought this was a travel for the whole first time I watched
this is really playing with fire here. I mean,
yeah.
She drags one of those feet. That's a travel. Oh my word. What the fuck?
And so
what the fuck?
The opposing coach they were double teaming the best shooter. He tells the girl to go over there and cover her. So she does. Right? All right. That 6 seconds is for sure done by this point.
What is this?
Just the sickest power jab you've ever seen to the shittiest behind the back pass ever. That's right. The shooter has to save it, which I'm pretty sure is a travel there too. Only for time to still be existing and for a nothing but net shot to finish at the end. So I would also argue in the whole scheme of things of us doing this, that these movies might not have as worse of basketball as that too. So
okay, I have two thoughts on this real quick. So first off, clearly she's not much of a shooter if they're not covering her to begin with. And if she's not and she's doing that, why are you even sending someone over there? Make her pass the ball. And obviously, if you're seeing this happen for 5 or 6 seconds and you're sent to go over and cover her, and you're falling for the first fake ass jab step she throws at you, you're fucking diving on the floor like it's a loose ball. Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Like they should have beat this team by 12. Like,
well, that's the thing I love is it takes just one. They
one?
don't show her feet because I'm pretty sure she travels there too because she doesn't use the same foot that she jab steps with to go the other direction.
This makes me wish we included Catwoman on here.
See, I thought about
the best
that
basketball
too,
scene in the history of movies is maybe the best sports scene in the history of a non-sports movie.
And then the behind the back that is just terrible.
It's so bad, by the way. Like she's open. That girl's wide open, and you pretty much throw it out of bounds.
Man.
All right.
Let's get to these movies.
We might need to power through.
I know. So I try to theme them together because my brain's weird and it works like this. So our first matchup.
That movie's gonna win, by the way. That movie's gonna fucking win.
I know for sure. The first pairing that I wanted to bring up to your attention is Air Bud versus Teen Wolf. And I know that there are probably people who like the movie Teen Wolf, and that's cool. It's great. It's 80s nostalgia. But I would argue basketball wise, I'm of the thought that maybe Michael J. Fox wasn't that great of a basketball player because it feels like the layup shots it shows of him are like the same shots over and over again. The guy stands underneath the basket to heckle him during free throw. It's just like basketball wise, it's just I don't know.
I think Teen Wolf's funnier though.
Teen Wolf is a lot funnier. It is a werewolf playing basketball compared to I was never
like I've watched all those movies, but I was never like a big Air Bud fan. I was never like a big talking live action animals fan as a kid. Maybe I'm just too smart, but it's probably it. I was like, I'm seeing through this bullshit. I'm not in.
Even as like 6 years old,
it's
you're
not
like,
for me. Yeah, it was
no
like
way.
This is dumb. This is dumb. So I'm gonna pick Air Bud as the worst.
I'm with you too on Air Bud.
I can have some laughs with Teen Wolf.
Exactly. The funny thing with Teen Wolf too is at least the dude pulls his junk out on camera and nobody catches it in the credits. So
it's bizarre. Yeah,
it is. It's a weird.
Early high schooler, I think.
But I don't think it's a good movie, but it's better than
Michael J. Fox. Like, I don't know. Maybe
I've always liked Michael J. Fox. But yeah, Air Bud is for sure the worst movie. I'll go ahead and I'll just make a Mount Rushmore at the end with everything on it. This one might get us a little more debate. Like Mike versus Space Jam, A New Legacy. Now, I asked you about both Space Jam movies, and I thought about this back and forth, and I went back and forth on it for a bit. I think the second Space Jam is the worst Space Jam of the two, even though I don't necessarily think the first one's better. I think that the other pieces make the first Space Jam better. Bill Murray, Newman. Why am I blanking? Newman. I can't think of his name. Wayne. Yeah, thank you. Wayne Knight. Even some of like the Looney Tunes jokes hit better. The second one feels like it's Warner Brothers showing you everything they have property wise of just squeezing it in. And the only funny thing about the movie was the Michael B. Jordan cameo. And that was still just kind of a little bit of a stretch, but it was just like, well, what are you going to do? Oh, okay. You could do that.
I think this is actually like a good kind of film analysis between these two of like, they're both kids movies, right? Like they're both made for children. And it felt like Space Jam 2 just didn't even really have a plot. Like you were just throwing all kinds of, I mean, it did, but you were throwing all kinds of stuff into the melting pot there.
Well, but it was the same, like it feels in a lot of the ways like the same kind of rehash. It felt like to me, it was a movie for Warner Brothers, not to be like, hey, here's a fun little like kids basketball movie we made with the Looney Tunes, which is kind of what the first one feels like. And this one's more like, hey, let us, pump everything we have at you and make it a giant commercial for Warner.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's cameos and look who this is and and like Mike, for as silly as it is, it's a movie. It's a 3 structured movie. There's a ton of great cameos in it from players who are trying to be kind of funny. Like it's like Mike is a perfectly good kids movie. That is a perfectly good kids sports movie. The same way Angels in the Outfield was when we talked about baseball.
So Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Is worse. Yeah, is much worse. It's just, it's not as, it's like exhausting to watch. Whereas like Mike, you're like, I told you about the kid on the plane a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah. We talked
It
about
was
that.
like, yeah, probably 9. He's watching it. I was like, damn, man, I was like, that's great though. Like that's one of those movies that probably shouldn't last to the next generation, right?
Oh.
The same way that I'm sure, The Rookie didn't. You know what I mean? Rookie of the Year probably did because it's, it's a campy sports movie. But I don't know that Angels in the Outfield even really did. I don't know how many kids my age were big Angels in the Outfield fans. So
no, I think it's more
the fact that like Mike has stayed the course, I love that for them. And it's got Mart, Texas's own Jesse Plemons in there. Sax.
So our next matchup, I say that like, here's the thing. He's very talented. Like I can't argue. The man's a phenomenal actor.
Exactly. This guy thought he was too good for Mart. Kinda. I mean, a little bit.
At this point, at this point, it's been a bit like for so long that I just have to keep it up now.
For those, for those who have not seen, Zach played against Jesse Plemons in
junior high
right?
football. Yeah, we talked about this once. Yeah,
and Jesse
does not remember me at all. For sure.
Well, yeah, but he's from like, for those who don't really realize, like,
all the towns are like. Yeah.
All the things that you like have in your head about Texas, if you've never been to Texas, that is Jesse Plemons. Like Podunk, nowhere. Riesel and Mart, very similar in that respect. Like,
less than 7 miles away from each other.
One stoplight, a food mart. No HEB or Kroger. Like it's a food mart.
It's a family. It's a family-owned grocery store. Yeah.
High school football. Although they're not having a good year this year, and unfortunately, as great as Mart is for football, they don't have like the great fanatical fan support that you would expect from every other Texas high school football team. But anyway, next on the basketball movie list.
Yes. All right. So let's go to the next one. With this one, as you can see, I love to theme things together. This one was a little tougher. At first, I thought about putting one of these with another movie, but then here, I'll just get into it. So Semi-Pro versus He Got Game. And this one was a little tough for me because I enjoyed He Got Game the first time I watched it. And I was going to pair it with Blue Chips at first because they're both like, that college recruitment kind of. Oh, did you lose your mic?
A little tangled.
Like that college recruitment type story in a sense. There's obviously
the same story.
Yeah. But then like I feel like there's a little bit more to the Jesus Shuttlesworth. I can't never remember his dad's name, but it's Denzel Washington's character.
God Shuttlesworth, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
That's how that goes, Joseph.
But I enjoyed it for what it is. I don't think it's necessarily a bad movie, but I don't know how. It was more kind of like when we talked about it wasn't The Program. I'm trying to remember what football movie did we talk about where it Any Given Sunday, where it sometimes tried to squeeze like a little bit of everything in there. It's good. It's decent. Semi-Pro is funny for what it is, but when it comes to the list of like sports comedies, it's not like there's so many better. I think that I have a little bit more of an affinity for it because I enjoy the ABA and the ridiculousness of it there. And so it makes me think of that some, but it's probably not even one of Will Ferrell's like top 5 for sure.
Okay, so here's the thing.
You love Semi-Pro, don't you?
I love Semi-Pro.
That's what we're about to get to.
I love it. And I love that, like, and I'm not a huge Will Ferrell guy. Obviously, I was when I was a kid because it's kind of like Sandler, right? Like, who doesn't love Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, like that era? It's the same thing of like Will Ferrell when I was a kid. He's doing Anchorman and Step Brothers and all that, and Talladega Nights, which is fucking great. And I love that he's in his peak in 2008. Like, he's really in his peak there. And he kind of takes the time to do a passion project that he knows is not going to go down as one of his all-time greats, really, because he thinks this is a really funny character to do in a funny setting. And he probably watched the ABA. He probably watched the Clippers, the Conquistadors in San Diego. But I love Semi-Pro. I think it still holds up. It's so good. Why don't you love me sexy? In fact, that could be watched at the bachelor party this weekend. It will be a crowd favorite.
And there are lines that I still quote from it of like, nobody panic. It's like it's like the Titanic, except it's full of bears. Yeah. Or the Did you just call me a jive turkey? Or it is, yeah, yeah, oh man.
You told me to S your C.
Fine. Okay, so we'll go with He Got Game being there. That works
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. He got game. Like, I love Ray Allen and everything, but he's not a good actor. And it was an experimental time where I think some movies and TV shows try to do that, where it was like, well, this guy can't act, but that was really big because he was like very new to the league. I think he was in like his second, third year in the league. It's not like he was Steph Curry. He was, he was Paolo Banchero. Imagine Paolo Banchero starring in a movie alongside Denzel Washington. Like that's wild. And Ray does his best, but he's just not very good. There's probably not enough Denzel in the movie if you're looking to save the acting. Yeah. So, and it's really serious. And Semi-Pro isn't, and it's great. I love Semi-Pro.
I will add this last tidbit.
There's no way I was picking against Semi-Pro.
I know. Well, I shouldn't have. But
Flint, Michigan, Mega Bowl.
Yeah, what is watch He Got Game until I was older, so it was like Ray had already been in the league for a bit. So when I discovered it, and it's like him and Rick Fox, and I was
but on the flip side,
this is kind of cool. Okay,
but also on the flip side, you discover when you're older, and you're like, oh yeah, Ray Allen can't act.
That's why I kind of know that too.
Kid, you wouldn't have really cared. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. That's true. I watched it and I like gave him. So then I went into that watching it like I'm not expecting Ray Allen to blow me away though, acting wise. Like I appreciated them taking the shot of using an actual athlete then for it.
Why don't you let me say?
Yeah, right, here's our last one. Fine. Here's our last one, and I know which one you're going to pick. I know which one we're both going to pick, but it was more so a reason for me to throw this movie in there too. One of them probably is the worst basketball movie of all time, and the other one is one that I know you've seen, and I have a feeling you probably enjoy it too. Juwanna Mann versus Celtic Pride.
Oh man, I'm interested to hear which one you think I give the nod to here.
Really?
Yeah.
I think, and maybe it's just me just assuming that you appreciate all things Boston, and maybe it's because out of watching the two movies, I have one that I feel is worse, and that would be Juwanna Mann. So I would think that you would give Celtics Pride a little bit of a slide. But if I recall, it's been forever since I've seen Celtics Pride. So it's
Celtic. Yeah.
Sorry, Celtic Pride. But if I recall right, he plays for the Jazz, right?
Yep.
And they kidnap him. It's a playoffs. Is it a playoff series like Game 7?
It's the finals.
It's a finals. Yeah. Okay, but it's like Game 7, and they end up kidnapping him, and they're holding him there trying to hold him for that Game 7. Do they leave him at home and they go to the? I didn't mean to just sink down. Do they leave him at home and they go to the game, or
they have to free him, and he doesn't. He says he won't press charges if they wear Jazz stuff.
Oh, that's yes.
And he ends up like hitting the game-winning shot. Yeah, I don't like that movie. I think it's just not very good. Like as much as I want to, and it's not like a thing that Boston people like Fever Pitch, like Boston people like.
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking that.
It's not even like that. Like nobody likes it. It's just really bland and flat. And for me, this is such a minute thing, but it bugs the shit out of me. It's one of those movies where they use the real team's jerseys, so they can't use the players' numbers, so they're wearing like number 39 and like number 77 and like 68, and like that's never gonna happen in the NBA, although it kind of does a little bit now. So don't love that. It's just not very good. Juwanna Mann, is it good? No. Could you make it today?
No,
probably not. But that was one that was definitely on rotation when I was a kid.
Is this another one that I didn't know you low-key liked beforehand?
Oh, I mean, when I was like a kid, I thought it was hilarious, man. Like the showering over the uniform, and the dunk scene is still hilarious to me. Like everyone's just in shock because a woman had never dunked before, and then the wig comes off. Like it's obviously a ridiculous ending that he gets to play. Was it Miguel Nunez? Is that his name?
It's dang it, here, I'll look it up real quick.
Because he must have been a stand-up comedian that I just didn't know about.
Miguel Nunez. Yeah, Nunez.
Yes,
Jr.
Nunez Jr. He had like a couple of those B movies. So he starred in that. He was one of the stars in Kicking It Old School, which was a B movie. And
it says he's also best known for Life. He was in Life. That's a solid movie.
I've never seen Life.
And The Return of the Living Dead.
Yes, he's in that too. That's right. So like he's in that kind of sphere of like B movies, almost like he's basically like Sinbad and Carrot Top without the glitter. Like he's a step down from those guys. He's not quite Pauly Shore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, here I was looking through his discography before Joanna Man, like that, like the movies leading up to that. He was
filmography.
Filmography is for music. Yeah, no. He was in The Adventures of Pluto Nash that same year, as well as the Scooby-Doo movie written by one James Gunn. A movie called Zigzag, Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, and also
wasn't quite good enough for the first one.
Yeah.
What was the last one?
MacArthur Park.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm picking Celtic Pride.
I figured that's what you would.
I'd probably have more fun watching Joanna Man today than Celtic Pride.
After seeing any of these, has it made you want to rewatch any of the movies that we
I mean, I'd watch Semi-Pro. I
Is
I haven't seen.
the
I
only
mean,
one
I
then?
obviously know Joanna Man does not hold up to what we would think has high taste today. But I haven't seen it in 15 years. I should give it a watch. See what it's like.
No, it's probably been just as it came out in 2002, and that was probably the last time. Here we go. There you go. That's our
there it is.
Our Mount Rushmore.
Like I like the culture stuff around He Got Game. I think I had a Jesus Shuttlesworth jersey at one point. Like
it's one of the, I will say it is one of the coolest basketball names in
and it's reputationally it's like cool that you get the cameos of the coaches and the old gym.
Well, it's a hip. I think
plays
if
in.
you become a
Sebastian
hip hop
Telfair's
lyric,
alma mater.
you're cool. So like Shuttlesworth is, I've heard in multiple things. So it has, you're right. It has the cultural thing. I don't think exactly. I enjoy He Got Game, but as a basketball movie, there are better ones. But there you go. That's
right.
Mount Rushmore.
What's the worst basketball movie ever made? Let us know in the comments below. That's Zach. I'm Cam. Have a good weekend, man. And we'll see, or woman. And we'll see you on Monday.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.